What about your pony? You don't even have one. Mine's got a saddle, and I'm making a wig out of its mane.
I'm sure your mom's gonna give me one later. Your mom gave you a pony? Is it your mama joke? No, I'm here for
It's a your mama joke.
Is that inappropriate?
Potentially, but it'll be a good cut point.
Okay.
Later, cut. Okay, let's talk about these other failed world records.
Sorry, Mama Di, I was just joking. But if you want to buy me a pony, literally, I'll gladly take one. I'm talking to your mom.
Don't talk to my mom anymore. My mama watches every episode of Good Mythical
I know, that's
Morning
why I was
and Good Mythical Morning.
That's why I was apologizing.
And usually texts me about it, and she's really gonna text me about this one.
That's why I said.
She might text you about it. Don't text him about this one.
Mama Di, sorry.
Okay, there's a dude named Dave Evans. He's from the UK. He put together a hand-cut wooden jigsaw puzzle. It's interesting because when you see the picture of it, it's confusing because what he did is he did a puzzle that consisted of multiple pictures.
It's like a wall in his house. We're not gonna show you the picture, but you can just Google original epic world record jigsaw fail.
Long story
short,
on
YouTube.
He took more than 200 hours hand cutting the jigsaw, and then how long did it take him to put it together?
40,763 pieces. 200 hours cutting it. Oh my goodness. Now he displayed it on a wall.
I don't know how long it's going to put it together. That was just 200 hours just to cut the pieces for it.
He displayed it on a wall that was like tilted back so you could walk up to it and see it and take pictures of it. But he didn't tilt it far enough back. And then he was running a webcam at the moment that he was like adjusting something, and the whole thing crumbles to the ground. And then there's like a second shot of it.
Well, there's a person that's like, what a shame. What a shame.
And then they play it in slow motion. What a shame.
But at least he had the perspective to put it up on his own YouTube channel.
Right. So show him some love over there. Dave Evans.
That's why I don't make puzzles.
So now I made a puzzle recently with the kids. Lando works on puzzles all the time.
I love when the kids do puzzles, but I'm not interested in helping.
Because it occupies them, so you can do whatever you want to do with your life.
Do a puzzle, kid. I'm gonna watch Die Hard.
In 2006, Agazi Vartanyan attempted to break the record for the longest hunger strike. He had this little hut and he had like lots of water bottles up there. He could drink, I guess, he just couldn't eat. Elevated glass box in St. Petersburg, 50 days to break the world record. Built the structure himself, stocked it with 150 liters of water, 50 packs of cigarettes, an electric heater, bedding, and changes of clothing.
Where did he use the bathroom at?
Off the platform. He can leave the platform, he just can't eat anything. Okay. Or maybe he doesn't leave the platform. Guinness, as it turns out, needs prior notification of any record-holding attempt. He forgot to inform Guinness of his attempt. He just did it.
How do you forget that?
That's a common mistake. I mean, people don't know the rules.
People do something awesome, like catch a big bass, and they're like, call Guinness!
You can't do that. You got to call Guinness first. They got to be on the boat.
You got to call Guinness and say, hey, listen, I'm going bass fishing. I'm going to set a world record today. I think it's like, no, you got to have that bass. You got to get the representative down there. He's got to weigh it.
Worse yet, Guinness had previously listed the record for the longest hunger strike at 94 days. So he didn't break it anyway.
Not only do you need to contact Guinness, but you also need to read
Guinness.
Do
your research.
Then he ended up drinking a lot of Guinness after this was all over with.
I wonder if he could drink Guinness.
No, Guinness is very, very, very malty.
I know.
Very hoppy.
For like a hunger strike, you know.
No, that's like a meal.
I know,
that's what they call Guinness. Guinness.
A meal in a can.
Beer meal. or a meal in a can.
That's what I'm saying, Rhett. He can't eat. So why not drink Guinness?
What about V8?
Or V8.
Can you drink V8? Does that count?
You have to ask Guinness. You have to call Guinness. They have to show up. You have to ask them.
Supersonic free for all. This guy's at the free for all record.
The fastest free for all.
He was attempting to He was projected to reach speeds of over 1,000 miles per hour. and this was going to last 15 seconds. So this is one of those deals where you get in a balloon and you go up really high, 25 miles into the air, 40 kilometers, and then jump out. You got to have oxygen and a special suit and all that stuff because it's so cold and the air is so thin up there. But that's why you're able to get so fast, right? He attempted this 3 different times and failed every time. First time in 2003, his balloon got damaged during inflation. Didn't even get off the ground.
Wow.
I don't know about the second time, but the third time.
If you can't inflate your balloon properly, you got no business trying to break a world record involving a balloon. You know?
In 2010,
Prerequisite 1.
his parachute deployed in the capsule.
Whoops.
Unfortunately, 40 kilometers below his goal. Which if he's 40 kilometers, I guess it's just.
He wanted to get faster before it deployed.
It deployed inside the capsule before he ever got out off the ground. So anyway, and he was over 60 years old. Over 60 years old. So once you try to put that much time and money into something and you fail, I feel bad for the guy.
So the Red Bull Stratus thing, Eddie, you know about this? Well, everybody knows about that. He broke the record. That was like last year, right? Or was that this year?
2013.
Another guy just broke the record though.
Yeah, an executive for Google just beat it like without anyone telling anybody. He just went and did it.
A Google executive
Yeah.
went. What did he do? He went up in a what?
Same kind of
Same
hot
thing.
air balloon contraption.
And then did a free fall
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
broke the record.
He like crushed the record, right?
Crushed it.
He beat the other guy.
And there were.
He got up to how fast?
Let's look.
While you're looking at that.
I got this one. Longest time without sleep. In 2007, Tony Wright, an author and consciousness researcher from Penzance, Cornwall,
Okay.
wanted to break the record for longest time without sleeping. He assumed the record was set by a dude named David Gardner at 264 hours. Good gosh, 264 hours. So Tony stayed awake for 266 hours. Because once you don't want to go at like many hours beyond. Once you're sleep deprived that far, you just break the record and you quit, I guess. But Guinness did not recognize his record-breaking attempt because the record was actually 276 hours. Whoops.
And it was set in 1964.
I think what happens is people who have are sleep deprived are stupid. No, people have older versions of the Guinness Book of Records and they just think that's it or something.
Well, but did you hear what I said? That record was set in 1964.
Yeah, I don't.
Logistically, how does this happen? Okay, so you have to contact Guinness before you start, right? Which presumably he
They would
did.
tell him. Right, they would tell him what you got to do.
He would be like, I'm going for the record. And they're probably like, don't you think he probably knows the record? We probably don't have to talk about that. Probably don't have to tell him.
This goes without saying, sir, but you need to go a few more hours.
Again, the moral of the story, if you're going to
The cruelty is they woke him up to tell him that. You know, if the dude's been awake, he finally goes to sleep. Did they wake him up or did they let him sleep and then tell him?
He also claims that he's able to achieve deliberate insomnia by consuming a biochemically complex diet of raw foods, including carrot juice, bananas, avocados, pineapples, and nuts. So next time you want to stay up for an all-nighter, you make a little one of those.
Yeah,
Eddie has an answer now.
I'd say for this guy, emphasis on the nuts.
So he jumped from 130,000 feet and he reached a speed of 822 miles per hour.
822 miles per hour.
Yeah. And his name is Alan Eustace, a Google executive.
He's a Google executive.
Mm-hmm. And then Felix jumped in 2012.
Right, 2 years ago.
Google Stratos.
He only got 822 miles per hour.
That's what Eddie said.
Wait.
Eustace hit a top speed of 822. During the free fall and lasted 4.5 minutes.
Whoa, that's like the longest 4.5 minutes of your life. Can you imagine that's like flying.
Going that fast, except straight down.
We should do this.
We should race.
No, we should do
this.
We should be a duo. They didn't do a duo?
Tandem?
Fastest duo.
Tandem?
No, not tandem. Just two guys at the same
Probably
time.
go twice as fast.
Yeah.
No, that's not physics.
We had a special Siamese suit
He went
Like beside each
beside
other?
each other.
Okay, I'm comfortable with that. So we'd each only have one arm?
Yeah. One arm, one leg. One arm, three legs. Like a sack race.
Well, that would be 2 arms, 3 legs. Where
We
you
each
gonna
have
put your
one
other
arm and 2 legs, but the middle leg is the third leg that we share. Like a sack race. Special suit. We get a sponsor.
Sack race sound barrier breakage.
Man, we should do this.
Breaking the sound barrier in a sack race.
Think of all the press,
It's
man.
a fast sack race.
These guys got a special suit made. We put a logo.
Made out of potato
Hey, no.
sacks.
We put a logo of a candy bar on the middle leg
Ooh.
because it's a double wide leg.
That's appetizing.
King size Butterfinger. Butterfinger. If you're
And we slip out of the the plane.
yeah. Covered in butter.
Butterfingers.
We slip out of a little.
Butterfingers are not covered in
a
butter.
little. Yeah, but it's all part of the PR, man. Butterfinger, if you're interested in sponsoring us for slipping into the sky, slipping out of the sky in
We
a
also need
two-man suit. Let us know.
Siamese
If you pay for it.
sack race.
Pay for the training and the equipment
And the policy.
and the production and the insurance. And give us a lifetime supply of Butterfingers.
I don't even like Butterfingers that much.
Yeah, you love Butterfingers. We love it. It's the best candy bar in the world. We'll do it.
Well, what about Milky Way sends us to the Milky Way?
Well, we're in the Milky Way.